Hello and welcome, this is Lightbearers. I just wanted to do a video, hopefully quick, about Hellscape. Hellscape is another map that is very popular. I have a couple ideas on why. I might share them later. That's weird. However, I'm just going to do similar things that I did with the Drywalk video. And I'm just going to show you where shadow portals are, since shadow portals are both a heavy part of this map for shadow, and they are very useful because of that. So right here is where you spawn. This portal is just going to take you to the end of that hallway. And this portal is going to bring you on top of a pillar. And this pillar you can look all the way down. Now if you come this way, there is another portal. And this portal is going to just bring you right down to there. And in case you are wondering why you need multiple portals up into the cliff, this is a map where the cliff can play a big part because bears can pretty easily get up there. If you watch the movement guide, I might do a condensed version later, but you will know you can easily scale mountains in this game. So this is just going to bring you to the other side of the map. If I place a pyramid right here, this is on the complete other side of the map. As you can see, the pyramid is way down there. So then the final shadow portal is here. All this does is just it brings you to the other side of this cliff. So if we go here, that's just on the other side right there. Now, this shadow portal is very useful because right here is a pool of light location. Go into that quickly in a bit. But that's more or less what I want to cover with shadow. One quick thing, if you infect someone on this side really close to the portal, or vice versa, you infect someone, you know, on this side and they get saved, then they're going to teleport to the other side of the map, which means you hop through this portal, and if you don't suck, you can go to the other side and instantly infect them. It is honestly quite mean, but it is part of Hellscape and I love it. It's honestly a great feature of the map, since bears do have a lot of power in the cliffs if you do not have a flyer. This particular map has a lot of nooks and crannies to hide as a bear. Not even hiding spaces, although the hiding spaces are quite plentiful. There are just many things. Many small little collisions that you can just hang on to. Easy one is if you want to, you just hide in the bottom of the map. You can fall through here pretty easily and just land on here. You can't get back up, but just fall off. So anyway, you do have a couple things on this map to try and be wary of. The middle is almost always dangerous, especially because there's always a lot of activity in here, and especially if Oculus is the shadow, there's a ton of hiding spots that are all going to fire bullets at you. I would avoid the middle as much as you can to a reasonable extent. On top of that, not always, but this hallway here, not really a hallway, but this pathway up top can also be very, very heavily trafficked. Maybe because everyone's just trying to avoid the center. Here, bears are able to squeeze through these bars both ways. I do not know of a shadow that is able to do this, not even Mimic, since Mimic does not actually have the same hitbox as a bear, even if they appear as a bear. So that is something to keep in mind. And then when you're on the other side, you don't have to worry too much, since this is really the only way that shadows are going to be able to touch you. Now, as I said, this is a pool of light location, and the other two are actually pretty close. I suck at wall jumping, I should get better at that. Oh, this is bad. This is really... I should just restart the recording. This is embarrassing. This is... There we go. It's about time. Okay. So, the other pool of light locations are at that intersection, and over here where... Over right in here. Those are the pool of light locations. Up top there is a dance pad location. Around the corner here is a dance pad location. Right in here. Another dance pad location is... I don't know if there are multiple, but I know of at least one in here. There probably is two, though. There is a dance pad location here, and there is a dance pad location here. There are no dance pad locations on the cliffs, and dance pads only appear in hard mode. But there are no dance pad locations on the cliffs. That being said, there are many ways for bears to get up on the cliffs. I can show you 3 of them. Now, if I can actually, like, do the jumps. I suck today. Obviously you can come up here. I typically don't. I normally fail doing this corner, as you can see. Shadow bears are going to have a hard time because there is a shadow portal right here, so it is kind of hard for a shadow bear to get up here using this corner. There are other ways, obviously, using the shadow portals as one, and I'm just gonna give up on this corner. There we go. You can do the same thing on that corner. It's slightly harder because as I do it first try, I don't even know if I would say harder. It's the same sort of jump, but there is this giant gaping hole. Giant gaping holes are not very good. Very rarely are they a good thing. And then finally you have this corner. This one you are going to have to do 2 wall jumps. You might be able to do another corner and do 1 consecutive wall jump. I do not have that skill. So on the cliffs, it's very, you know, it's pretty standard. It is very mountainous terrain though. And yeah. Where I think I just go straight into a couple of the hiding spots. So obviously there are hiding spots in the game. In this map, they all look like these statues here. You just hop inside, you hop out, they act like anything else. However, there are also spots such as down this pit, where if you fall, you can land quite clearly here. But maybe you don't want to be here, because if anyone comes down here, or even just looks down here, you're going to be seen, you're going to be tagged, bad things happen. However, welcome to Hellscape, where the collision says whatever it wants, and you can hide in places like this. You can hide in places like this. It is part of Hellscape, for better or for worse. There are multiple areas like it. You might want to choose a flying shadow just because of it. But this is a map where camping is a strong strategy, even if it's not necessarily a fun one. Another thing too is, oh, I messed that one too. I'm just not doing good today. You do have these little holes in the wall here, so you can sneak down here and, you know, come back behind here if you don't want to do anything with the cliffs and get out safely without having to fall. You can easily get Abyss Hopper points, which 35 points for every wall jump, as long as you do not have ground underneath you and you have void. So you can farm points, I guess, through there. There are no jump pad locations for the bears. I'd say, for the most part, this map is fairly self-explanatory once you kind of know how to get up at the cliffs. If you want to get up on the cliffs, it's not really needed. And quite honestly, most corruptions are going to happen along down here, and so if you just ignore them on the cliffs, you're not going to have a good time getting into the pool of light. And that also goes for camping. You are not going to have a good time getting into the pool of light if you decide to just ignore every single corruption. But as you can see, this wall here is just another way of getting up into the pool of light immediately. That's more or less all that I want to say. There isn't as much going on with this map. There is no one-off gimmicks like Bear Village or Dry Rock, where you have bouncy terrain or anything like that. This is a very standard map, but due to its map design, aka the very elevated sides of Hellscape, things can play out interestingly depending on what people you are playing with. Nox is a good, like, there's a lot of, I would honestly say every shadow is pretty good on here. Oculus, Watcher, Cthulhuling, Nox, Jester. As much as I don't like having to play Jester, Jester is good on here. I'd honestly wouldn't even recommend like avoiding a particular shadow. This isn't a strong Mimic map, but you can definitely play Mimic on here to varying degrees of success. That's more or less all that I want to say. Thank you for watching. I hope that this helped at least a little bit. And go out there and play some light bears. Thanks so much for watching.